Who presents this woman to be married today? Please be seated. Back just a little bit. You know what? Go ahead and face each other so people can see your faces. Okay. Please be seated. We're already crying. Good morning. Hey, a response. Good crowd. Welcome to the wedding of Abram Thompson and Jessica Akins. The couple would like to thank you all for being here on this, the most important and, at the same time, weirdest day of their lives.
And yours.
And yours. This is a first for me. Now, many of you are confused as to why this is happening in a Wendy's. Yes, it's part of a crazy radio promotion, but if you know the couple, then you'll know that there's no better place for these two to be married. Let me explain. Our story begins 5 years ago when Jessica was working as a server in a restaurant. This restaurant, like Wendy's, had a first name, George's. On a Thursday evening, as Jessica was wiping down a table and internally cursing small children, Abram walked in the door. He was wearing a black hat, a V-neck shirt, and some army cargo shorts. Jessica was immediately smitten. In fact, it may be the only time in recorded human history that a woman was turned on by a guy in cargo shorts. That's right. And Jessica thought deep, meaningful thoughts like, one day I'm going to marry that man in a Wendy's. They began talking, and Jessica was shamelessly flirting. And in the course of conversation, Abram said he was a tattoo artist. Jessica, being totally smooth and not at all obvious, said, "Oh my gosh, I'm looking to get a tattoo." They spoke. They exchanged phone numbers, and the next day, she went to Abram's shop. They spoke for 20 minutes about the tattoo she wanted, and 2 hours about, well, anything else. And then the next day, she showed up and did the same thing. And the next day, and the day after that, 2 hours of talking every day for a month. No kissing, no dating, just chatting away. And 2 things were becoming obvious. 1, they had a connection. And 2, Jessica was definitely a talker. Talker. I meant to say talker. She just talks. Anyway, the 2 of them found themselves wanting to be together all the time. And after an entire month of this flirting around, Jessica and Abram finally went on a proper date. Once again at a restaurant with a first name. This time, it was Denny's. There in booth 5, they had their very first kiss. In fact, the first kiss led to a lot of other stuff I would explain, but this is a family show and I'm on the radio right now. Long story short, they are no longer welcome in that restaurant. In fact, I heard that after they left, the health department made them burn the table. But that's neither here nor there. What we're talking about is today. It brings us to here, Wendy's. Jessica and Abram are unique. They are different. Their relationship was never about convention or about the ordinary. That's just not them. To be married in a church, well, that's too formal. To be married in a courthouse, that's not personal. To get married at the beach, there's no hamburgers at the beach, you guys. So really, their story is about meeting at George's, kissing at Denny's, and now getting married at Wendy's. Here before us are 2 people who were made for each other. Many times you'll see a couple on the street and you'll go, how do those two fit together? Not these two. One look at Jessica and Abram and you go, oh yeah, that makes sense. Jessica and Abram, marriage is much like the tattoos you wear. It's meant to be both beautiful and permanent. In fact, much like a tattoo, marriage after a while simply becomes a part of who you are. And while it's true that both marriage and tattoos technically can be removed, it's not easy. In fact, to do so involves a lot of pain, and it also always leaves a scar. So it's important that it's done right the first time. So here is my advice to you for making this union just as permanent and as beautiful as Johnny Depp on your forearm. Marriage is a relationship that's completely unique from any other relationship in your life. If it's done right, then you're both equals and you are partners. Nobody's in charge of the other one, but rather you help one another because you want to. From this moment on, you are to be the closest confidants, but most importantly, inseparable friends. Many married people, myself included, will tell you that you never really stop learning how to be married. We all make mistakes, we all learn lessons, and more often than not, those lessons are learned the hard way. Everyone in this room is a big, dumb, clumsy screw-up, and that's okay! That's because marriage isn't the union of two perfect people, but rather the joining of two imperfect people who refuse to give up on one another. So it's my hope that for the rest of your lives, you will remember this moment here at Wendy's and reflect on these nuggets of wisdom. May you never let your love become frosty. It is important to double stack those affirmations of respect and triple stack those moments of forgiveness. And in the years ahead, when you add some small fries on the menu, remember to take time for romance. And remember that romance is just like a baked potato. It's better when it's cheesy. May your days be long and your love always be fresh and never frozen. All right, now let's get to the main course. All right, that was my last pun. That was my last pun. Just kidding, one more. If everybody wants to see these two get married, I want to hear order up! Order up! Let's do this.
Thanks for all the support.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here to witness the union of this man, Abram Thompson, and this woman, Jessica Akins, in holy matrimony. If any of you have reason to believe these two should not be joined in marriage, you may now shut up and get out. Jessica, please, and Abram, look at each other, and please join hands. It's about to get real.
Oh, okay.
Jessica, do you take Abram to be your lawfully wedded husband? By making this commitment, you are joining together in the bond of marriage. Do you promise to honor and respect him in love, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, to comfort him in times of difficulty, and to cleave unto him and none else, for as long as you both shall live?
Cheers to getting richer, because I do.
Abram, do you take Jessica to be your lawfully wedded wife? By making this commitment, you are joining together into the bonds of marriage. Do you promise to honor and respect Jessica, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, to be sensitive to her needs, and to comfort her in times of difficulty, and to cleave unto her and none else, for as long as you both shall live?
I do.
To commemorate this, you see what happened at Denny's. We don't get that. This is a respectable establishment, and there's children. To commemorate this union, we will now exchange rings, courtesy of Seven Oaks Fine Jewelers.
Yes.
Yay!
The ring bearer is not excited. Here, somebody go ahead. There we go. Oh, wow. All right, first, Abram, Right? Family establishment.
I'm sorry, those are beautiful.
There you go.
First,
First, Jessica, you take his ring.
okay, I'm shaking. Okay. Oh my gosh.
And repeat after me as you place the ring on his finger.
Oh, okay.
Abram, in token and pledge
Abram, in token and pledge
of the vow made between us,
of the vow made between us,
with this ring,
with this ring,
I thee wed.
I be wed. We push it on.
Push. There you
Alright.
go.
And now your turn.
Man.
And now place the ring on her finger and repeat after me. Jessica, in token and pledge
Jessica, in token and pledge
of the vow made between us,
and the vow made between us,
with this ring,
with this ring,
I be wed.
I be wed.
Now, with
It's so pretty.
she doesn't cry till she sees the jewelry. It's
It's
just so beautiful. It looks so expensive. I love it.
You see his ring?
Oh, that's
No.
Now, with the rings in place and your vows made before one another and these witnesses here today, it is my privilege to declare that by the authority vested in me as an ordained minister and also by the state of Utah, I now pronounce you, Jessica and Abram, married, legally and lawfully wedded as husband and wife. You may now kiss the bride. Mr. and Mrs. Abram and Jessica Thompson.